Like many of you, I rather enjoy going to McDonald's for a nice burger and chips. But I don't always feel, well, burger and fries, I suppose, it's an American restaurant. Prefer chips myself. But we don't always have the time or the money, even on our birthdays. And let's face it, with the weather being as unpredictable as it is in Britain, we don't always want to go and have the walk. So, even on our birthdays, as today, although by the time I'm finished editing and uploading this, it will probably not be my birthday anymore, I thought I'd show you a lovely way to make homemade cheeseburger and chips at an affordable price. So here's what we're going to need. You're going to need some lettuce, in this case iceberg lettuce from Tesco. You're going to need a type of cheese called halloumi. Now this is a cheese that can be fried. You don't have to, you can just use standard cheddar. I prefer halloumi. You need a nice well-lit workstation, at least 2 mixing bowls. Potatoes, in this case 2 small potatoes, 1 big one would also work. You're going to need a potato peeler, and you're going to need Mr. Stabby. I need some spread. You're going to need a bun, in this case a nice Tesco's brioche bun. You're going to need, well, you don't need it, but it can be nice to have it, some seasoning. In this case, parsley flat leaf seasoning and Schwartz curry sauce for chips. And you're going to need some nice beef. In this, well, mince, so minced beef. Minced pork would also work. Minced chicken can work as well, though I find it's nice to bread that. Which you can do with crushed cornflakes. But in this case, it's discount yellow label meat. Now, I'm going to be using this over the next few days. But generally, if you buy yellow label meat like this and you plan to use it this way, the correct answer is to cling film it up into individual portions, freeze each of them, and then take them out, defrost them as you use them. I know I'm going to be using all of this over the next few days. Okay, so I'm going to peel these and resume the video. There, that didn't take too long. Now, you'll notice this doesn't take too long. All told, it's probably going to take 20 to 25 minutes. Now, if you think of the time you would spend going to McDonald's and then coming back and eating there, this is not a significant expenditure of time. And even though the Illuminati, with their World Economic Forum and their international globalist agendas, have massively increased the cost of food, we still have the means to buy, and with the benefit of modern technology such as these air fryers, relatively quickly prepare nice tasty food. So I think we are, unfortunately, as a generation, more so than any previous generation, prone to relying upon restaurants. And restaurants are fine for occasional treats, but I do think it's good to remember we do have the means economically to cook within our own homes, and I think that can be not just economically rewarding, but personally I find that eating a meal you prepared yourself has a certain level of satisfactoriness to it that shouldn't be overlooked. So now that we have peeled these, it's time for slicing. Okay, they are now sliced. So as mentioned, these are chips, not fries, so they don't have to be incredibly thin. I'm now going to slice these lengthways again into strips. Then I'm going to put them in the bowl, one of the bowls, add some vegetable oil, season them, and then we'll have them ready for this. Now, I'll show you that step in just a moment from your perspective. Okay, so now take the last of these, add them into here. Now I've got 2 air fryers. I've got a small one and a big one. A really fantastic investment. It is worth having 2. There will be a bit of contact between them in here, kind of unavoidable. My general advice is part way through, take them out, shake it a little, put them back in. That should minimise the degree to which contact makes the browning uneven. For this next step, you're going to want to roll your sleeves up a little, so bear with me. Okay, that's them there. So we add some vegetable oil, quite a bit more than we're going to be using in the early stages. Now, great thing about an air fryer, this doesn't stay on it, so it's not like deep fat frying. The oil is just going to help the seasoning stick and help to make sure it burns, well, not burns, but fries properly, but it won't stay in there, so we're not absorbing all the oil when we eat it, so it's nice and comparatively nutritious. Now, this, admittedly, kind of hard to do when you're holding a camera. Thankfully, modern technology has allowed everyday people to use video cameras and not just those child-sacrificing, adrenochrome-swilling Hollywood types. So, there we go there. We now mix this up. Again, it'll be easier when you're doing it because you will probably have two hands and not have to hold a camera in the... What's me? The sleeve has come a bit untucked. So we mix these up, get it nice and evenly coated. Again, easier with two hands than with one. And then, when we're comfortable with the result, we place them into here. If you're cooking for multiple people and not just yourself, best to wash your hands before you do this part. As I'm just cooking for me, I already have any bacteria on me, so not really a problem. And we're going to fry them anyway. Tend to wash my hands before I eat, but not necessarily before I'm preparing food. Okay, so as I said, we're going to shake these a little, but this has been set to its maximum setting of 200 degrees Celsius. That's not Kelvin, that's Celsius, and it's certainly not Fahrenheit. So convert that if you're in a place where they more commonly use Fahrenheit or Kelvin. We're going to put that on for 15 minutes. Any longer than that, we risk burning them. Okay, going to be using all this in the next few days. Sorry, I think I pressed the wrong button there. Ended that prematurely. So we have our nice beef here. We then combine that in with some parsley. Again, this is just the seasoning I've chosen. You may choose a different seasoning. And then a little bit of oil, just to help the whole thing bind together, doesn't stick. And then we re-mince it up. Now you'll note that I made it into a sort of patty shape earlier. The only reason I did that is to check that I had the right amount. So again, you are going to have to then re-mince it into a patty. Harder to do, admittedly, with just one hand than with two. And we would want to put this in for ideally about 10 minutes. So as I said, nice little time saver. You can start on this after you've already got, you see this has not yet reached the 10-minute mark. So we take our nice seasoned beef patty here. We sort that out. And then we pop it in, but we don't start yet. Note that we still have a few minutes to go. No, we are making a cheeseburger. So we get out our halloumi. Okay, in hindsight, definitely should have held the camera with my left hand because I need a bit more manual dexterity for this. You'll bear with me. There we have our nice thin halloumi strips. Sorry, it did take two hands to cut those. So I'm going to put those in once this hits the 10-minute mark. I'm going to put those on again, 200 degrees for this one. So they'll do 10 minutes while this does 15. And then I'm going to get a few leaves out of this. I'm going to cut and butter my roll. When it all comes together, I'll show you what should be a lovely meal of chips and a burger. Sorry, one last thing. You don't want to use Mr. Stabby for the bun. You want to use a more serrated blade like this. This more persuasive looking stabby blade that's got the serrations. You don't want a nice single curve like this. You see here, I have separated a few leaves from the sphere, placed them here. So, still got another 7 minutes or so to go. Should I charge my phone? Battery is looking a little low. Nah. One last note before it finishes. You may be wondering what to pair this with, and as it's my birthday, I'll be having this lovely appetizer. But honestly, it's up to you, whatever you'd prefer to drink. Oh, our burger came out just ever so slightly before the chips did. So, pop that on there. There we have it. A home-cooked meal, about 25 to 30 minutes overall, I'd say. And no need to go off to McDonald's, no need to pay exorbitantly high George Soros-induced prices, just a little bit of work and a little bit of foresight. Happy Star Wars Day.